Shavua Tov. I'm Dorin Ellen Beldotan in Svat, and please God, this discussion will become available on YouTube after Shabbat goes out in the nethermost part of the West. We see that the world is becoming more and more dangerous, more and more chaotic. This is true both on the human level, and we see that the heat waves are becoming worse, and that the weather is becoming more difficult to deal with. Some 7 years ago, Bezrat Hashem, I made a video that was called The End of the World That the Talmud Generated, in which I explained that the Talmud had generated a reality which is not a desirable reality, and a reality that is not fit to become eternal. A reality so wrought with problems that Hashem was immediately going to undertake to dismantle that world gradually, such that the underlying truth could be revealed, and to do so gradually, as I said, in order to make it as least the least amount of disorienting as possible, even though we see that certainly there is a great deal of disorientation. It could be much worse. 7 years was a lot of advance warning. That process is now well underway. In contradistinction to what the rabbis believe and what they teach, not everyone has the right to take it upon themselves to call themselves a rabbi and start teaching Torah. Only those who are descended from the house of David and have received the real smicha are authorized by God to be able to teach Torah. The reason why the world is as it is because the rabbis arrogated that task, and they have done a miserable job of it. The crown of the house of David is not either an administrative nor an economic crown. It is not a crown of power in a temporal worldly sense, in a gross sense. It is the power of Torah interpretation which brings worlds of peace, worlds that are fit for sentient beings to live in, into being. The Hebrew word for crown is keter. Its value is 620. One of the substitution values for keter, 620, crown, is mefaresh, which means he interprets. Another one of the substitution values for keter is tachbir, which is syntax. In order for one to interpret Torah correctly, they need to know Hebrew syntax correctly. Another one of the substitution values for keter, 620, is samach yado. He put his hand on. That is also the name of two letters, samich, and the name of the letter yud, which is also vidavid. So keter is also David somech. It is David who has to crown someone personally to be able to interpret Torah correctly. If one has received that authorization, they know it. If one has not received that authorization, they also know it. In order to know that one is descended from the house of David, one has to be able to find their name and the names of their family members. Well, it's actually throughout Torah, but they have to find it specifically in one of the narratives that speak about David and one of David's wives. Now, all of the mothers of the house of David are actually contained in one another and contain one another. Yet and still, those who are authorized to teach Torah and interpret it correctly in accordance with the house of David find their names in the narrative of one of the specific mothers, so that person knows that David is their father, and they know which one of David's wives is their direct mother. If someone does not have that information, and if someone cannot prove that they have that information, that is to be able to show someone who reads Hebrew where in the narrative they find their names and the names of their relatives whom they know. There's more genetic information there that they may not yet be consciously aware of, but they can find the names of the family members with whom they are familiar. If someone cannot do that, they are not of the house of David, and they do not have authorization to teach Torah. The fact that someone is born into the house of David also does not mean that they are necessarily able to teach Torah, because as we now know from genetic inheritance, the further back a progenitor is, the less genetic material you're likely to receive from them. It keeps recombining and you get less and less. Only in very specific cases is an embryo built in the womb very specifically to be one of the interpreters of Torah, and they have inherited a large block of genetic material from the house of David. They are what is called he'atek ne'eman lemako. They are a true and authentic and accurate copy of the original text. They are a living Sefer Torah that has not been corrupted. Only such people are able to interpret Torah correctly. Such a person, when they are born, their mother is told that this child has been designated as a Torah interpreter. They, from a very young age, are drawn to Torah learning, and they show a very specific talent for understanding Hebrew in the way that other people do not. They are able to read things that other people cannot see, other Jews cannot see, even other people in their family may not be able to see, but once they see it, they can prove that they see it. They may have a particular proclivity for grammar and syntax. On some level, they have a very specific talent that has to do with Hebrew learning. The rabbis running around teaching Torah who barely know Hebrew, that's not them. That's most of the rabbis in the diaspora. Even here in Israel, somebody may speak modern Hebrew as a mother tongue, yet and still they don't have the ability to be able to get past their imaginations and to be able to see what's written in the text under the level of the surface that acts on the imagination. If somebody cannot cut through the chase, cut through the surface to the chase, that person is not designated as a Torah interpreter. And if they assume the responsibility to which they are not suited, they are going to cause damage. My request to the rabbis is to be silent. I'm seeing a lot of hysterical videos. Everybody's in a mad race to get more videos out and to grab more attention and to do lectures, and you're doing more harm than good because you're not learning Torah correctly. The things that you're saying are not correct, and they are not bringing peace in the world. They are increasing chaos. I am not asking people to accept what I'm saying on the basis of my authority, even though I know very well that there are many rabbis in positions of influence who know that the way that I understand Torah is the correct way. Even with that, and even with the proofs that I have given that you are not capable of giving, I am not asking you to accept my authority. I'm asking you to have the decency to keep quiet and turn to Hashem and ask Hashem what the Torah truth is and in whose hands it resides. If you do that, you will surely get the answer in the way in which is best suited for you. And in the meantime, please keep quiet and don't contribute to the chaos. Thank you for listening.